Hi, how are you guys doing today? I'm Susan. Welcome to Susan Cooking Class. Today I'm going to teach you how to cook one of the most authentic, traditional, and tasty Sichuan dishes is Mapo Tofu. Well, the history of Mapo Tofu goes back to Qing Dynasty. It's about like 100 years ago. During that time, there was a lady. She was running a restaurant along the river, and she was so talented and good at making tofu. That's why the people named it Mapo Tofu. What Mapo represents, Mrs. Chen. Well, because on her face, she got lots of marks, just like the Sichuan peppercorn. And so this is history and the story about Mapo Tofu. Well, what do we need to cook Mapo Tofu? So here comes the ingredients. Of course, we do need tofu. So this is a normal tofu, but don't choose the silken tofu, which is too soft. And then will be this, which is known as the soul of Sichuan cuisine. This is the chili paste. Yeah, the chili paste from pixian, in Chinese, pixian, douban, is one of the most well-known and typical one. And it's very important to cook Sichuan dishes, like even hot pot, kung pao chicken, we do need this one. Okay, so the history of this one goes back to 300 years ago. And then we need the chopped ginger, garlic, and spring onion. So all chopped ginger, garlic, spring onion, that's very important, very common for us to cook the Sichuan dishes. And of course we need salt. Yeah, salt. And especially for this dish, very important would be this one. This is the Sichuan peppercorn. So this is where the numbing flavor comes from. Yes, from the Sichuan peppercorn. And this is very unique and special. The history of this one goes back to almost 1,000 years ago. As the weather is very humid in Sichuan province, especially in Chengdu, that's why we do lots. That's why we're so crazy about numbing flavor. And we do need light soy sauce. And last one will be the starch. This is the water starch. This is the paper starch. Yeah, you can just buy this in the market. So that's all the ingredients we need for the Mapo tofu. So now we have to cut tofu into small cubes. So here, this is the tofu. So you see this is tofu. Now we have to cut the tofu into small cubes. Yeah, we have to do it gently, like this way, into small cubes, like 2.5 or 2 centimeters cubes. You have to be very careful, don't cut your fingers. Yeah, do it like this way, and then like this way, one more. Yeah, just do it carefully and gently. And then that's why we cannot choose the second tofu. It's too soft to break. Okay, so here, this is the tofu cubes. Now we have to do next one. We have to put this in a plate. So now what we're gonna do is that we put some water in the wok and then add a pinch of salt in the water, and then we will wait until it's boiled. So this process is very, very important to get rid of the raw taste of the tofu. So let's just wait until it's boiled. Now we just slide the tofu into the boiled water. And then we have to do it very gently. So we're going to do this for about a minute. Drenching the tofu in the boiled water for about a minute to get rid of the raw taste from the soybean. Now we have to move the tofu out of the wok. So now everything's ready, the tofu is ready, everything's ready. Now we have to stir fry the tofu. Now we just turn on the stove. And then add oil in the wok. Until the oil gets really like hot, like heating for a few seconds. Oh, here comes the soul of the Sichuan cuisine, the chili paste. So get 1 tablespoon of the chili paste in oil. For a few seconds, and you see the oil is really red, and then the garlic and ginger. You can smell, wow, it smells so good. And then water. And you can see when the oil gets red, and then we'll pour water in the bowl. and then 1 spoon of light soy sauce. Now we can add tofu in soup. Remember, for the whole process, back push the tofu cubes. And then we turn down in slow heat for 6 minutes, so the tofu will simmer, will absorb the sauce and the flavor in the soup. Well, so today the Mapo Tofu is kind of like vegetarian, veggie friendly, but normally you can also make it with, at the first step you can add a little bit like minced pork or beef in it. But this is more like popular, more common, easy to cook. Just make it as a veggie like Mapo Tofu. If you don't like pork or beef, you can change to something else, maybe like mushroom. It's also very tasty. You can see after 6 minutes later, now it's time for starch. Yeah, the potato starch. We can add the starch in the tofu for twice. The first time, just add half of the starch, and then wait for a few seconds, and then we'll do next time. And just back push. So the starch is also important, to make the soup gets thick and thick, so the flavor will be covered on the tofu. And then more starch. Last would be the spring onion on top. Okay, it's time to turn off the stove. See? So this is Mapo Tofu, but there's very important is, remember the Sichuan peppercorn? So see the tofu? Tofu is in a plate. Tofu is in a plate, but we need one more step, is the Sichuan peppercorn. Yes, Sichuan peppercorn. So here, Sichuan peppercorn. Now I have to sprinkle the peppercorn powder in on the top of the tofu, like magic time. A little more. Wow. So here, see? Wow, I can smell very strong numbing flavor. So here, this is the Mapo Tofu. Hope you like it. Try by yourself and let me know.